How are you? It's your man, Terry Taylor here. You know, I've been thinking a lot recently about Mr. Rogers. It was just the anniversary of his show. And then, like a week or so later, it was his birthday. So it was like this 1-2 punch from our neighbor. For those of you who do not live in America or in the North American region, Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers, was a Presbyterian minister who, in the late 50s, early 60s, decided to make it his life's goal to address the growth of children. And he did this through public television. He not only did this through public television, he did this in a way in public television where he went in front of the Senate and pleaded the case for why funding for public television should exist, and got a grant of millions of dollars from some of the hardest motherfucking senators, and all these motherfuckers in like 1969 in the Senate. Anyway, you could Google all this. Fred Rogers, PBS funding. Anyway. So, in case you've been living on the moon, you will realize that we're sort of in this like toxic environment these days with politics and social media. You know, everybody's like very crazy with each other. That's not cool. We all have to be neighbors. And then, like, fucking the anniversary of Mr. Rogers, like 50 years of Mr. Rogers being our neighbor, happened. And then, like a week later, it was the anniversary of his birthday. Now, here's the thing. Mr. Rogers has been dead for 15 years. But we all miss him. We all grew up with him. Like, I grew up with him, but like also like my mom grew up with him on PBS. He won Lifetime Achievement Awards for television. Like I said earlier, he went in front of the Senate and was granted millions of dollars to keep public television still alive, because he cared about all of us. And now we're in this crazy toxic political environment where we're all on social media yelling at each other. And then 50 years of Mr. Rogers pops into play. And we're like, holy shit. It was 50 years, Mr. Rogers. Twitch is still currently running a marathon. But then, like, you know, we got caught up and we were like, holy shit, politics, America, Donald Trump, North Korea, fucking football, sports, Mets, whatever the fuck is going on in the world, video games, food, let's get fat and have heart attacks. And, like, what would have been Mr. Rogers' birthday happened like a week or two later. And it's like, holy shit. Mr. Rogers is back. And what kind of neighbor would he think we were? Because he was the one that told us that it was okay to have feelings. It was okay to have make-believe. It was okay to be upset. It was okay to be frustrated and be afraid. You know, Mr. Rogers was just a dude. He was not nearly as fashionable as me. he wore a cardigan that he changed into every episode. And his mom knitted every single cardigan. But he was so important to us in America that cardigan, one of them, is in the Smithsonian. But anyway, I digress. We are just screaming at each other. Why? Why can't we make each other happy? You know, we have to remember. Mr. Rogers told us, "It's you I like." So why can't we tell that to each other? Maybe it's time we thought a little more about the things we learned with old Fred. And maybe make our old neighbor proud. Keep his mission alive. We don't have to scream at each other. We can calm down and listen to what each other has to say. Anyway, that's my message to you all during this holiday season. After several drinks and a whole lot of food. Just, man, what the fuck are we doing here? We gotta chill out. Anyway, just remember, it's a good feeling to know you're alive. Such a happy feeling. You're growing inside. I don't want to get hit with any plagiarism or anything, but just remember what old Fred Rogers always told us, and it's okay to make believe.